What's good? Good morning. I This is something I think about often, and I know many other men in my situation feel this way. I'm 38 now. I turn 39 this year, the end of the year, and I don't feel like an adult. I don't feel like a 39-year-old man. I was walking to my van this morning after picking up my coffee, and I saw myself, my reflection in my window, and I just had noticed a lot of gray. I was like, new patches. I know my whole beard is going to be gray in the next year. It's surreal, and that to me is like an indicator of a little bit of age and maybe some wisdom, maybe. But anyways, and it does not align with my sort of mental feeling of still feeling youthful and wanting to be like, go, go, go. But my body is like, slow, slow, slow. And I know a lot of men feel this way. I've had numerous conversations with men, even men who are married with children, which my initial thought was, because I'm not married, because I don't have children, because I don't have a lot of responsibilities, uh, that I feel like a child in a lot of ways, and uh, I kind of I don't like it, but I don't think it's maybe a really bad thing. I think it's a normal thing, and I don't think just having a family and whatnot that would immediately change things. I think this sensation, this experience, this psychological situation is one that we are meant to face and to, I don't want to say overcome, but integrate. And this is me just like speaking anecdotally. This is not me trying to, be like Carl Jung says this or this spiritual teacher says that. Jung talks about the concept of integration, and I like that. And I do believe that an integrated, actualized person is able to tap into a youthful sort of joy and a youthful sort of bliss. That ignorance is bliss when you're young and you're naive and the world is just wondrous. Being able to reconnect to that is, I believe, an important characteristic or attribute to an integrated, actualized person. But also not being always that, not having that be the core root of your identity is also important. So for me, where I'm at in my journey in life, I do feel like I have mission and purpose and a little bit of direction. I just feel like I've not made as much progress as I should at this point because I do want a family and I do want children. But it's kind of a blessing in that because I know I'm not ready as much as I want it. I know I'm still not ready. I know I still have more work to do to grow, to develop, to actualize, and to integrate. But I do think I've made tremendous progress. Oh my gosh, if you look at this YouTube channel over the last 5, 6, 7 years, you will see a slow, gradual transformation of someone who was really bitter and angry. Rightfully so in some instances, but you cannot hold on to that shit. You just cannot. It is truly a poison. And I've grown into someone who's a little bit more calm, a little bit more mature, a little bit less bitter. I still am angry and I still am bitter, but I identify earlier on in the patterns when sort of those ruminations begin and when I sort of start to circle and then I break it. But then also what's helped is just build in a gratitude practice. And it's really frustrating when I was first starting on this sort of spiritual and personal growth and development journey when people who are already where you want to be say these things that, like, what the fuck does that mean? What the fuck does a gratitude practice mean? For me, it started with just finding little things in my day that I was thankful for and taking time to really just be thankful for it. And I'm getting a little emotional. I apologize. The last several years were tough. And so climbing out of it, when I think back about how dark it was, whoo, buddy, that's why I'm getting emotional. I'm sure you've been there too, where it's like you've been in a really dark place. And to not be there is really good. Let me just give this example. Here's an easy example of something I'm really grateful for and that I try to honor and appreciate when happens. And it's little, trust me, but it's big to me. Uh, Birds. Like the sound of just little chirping birds, often in the morning or like in the early evening, when the day is kind of starting or when the day is sort of beginning to wind down. I'll be outside digging, for example, just digging a fucking trench or digging up a sewer line like I did yesterday. And so I'm in nature and it's really nice and it's not too busy on the road and there's trees and I just hear chirp, 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 all these little chirps, and it creates this ambiance or this sort of frequency. Like I feel like I can actually get in touch with nature when I just sort of try to separate myself from the moment and just vibe with what's going on. And I know all of that sounds crazy, but I'm literally yesterday was digging someone's sewer pipe up, right? So it's shitty work, literally. Sorry. Um, but I felt so blessed and so thankful because another thing, a gratitude practice, I was thankful to have work. I was thankful for being able to be busy, and to make a few bucks. And I was helping a friend, which is cool. Like being able to help a friend, that to me is community. So yesterday, there were birds chirping, and I had a little bit of work, and I was helping a friend. I was building community, something I talk a lot about wanting to do. And so I honor and acknowledge all of that. And I'm thankful for that. And at night now, before I eat my little jerky and cheese hummus dinners, I'll usually do a little prayer. Uh, and I talk about things I'm thankful for, and I make requests for healing energy for various people and for other things for people. And that is a gratitude practice. And this video, totally, that's not what I wanted to talk about. I wanted to talk about how I don't feel like an adult, but it kind of, wow, it went really sideways. Okay, let's circle it up. Hopefully, I can grow into an adult, but still be able to maintain at times that childlike, joyous wonder with the world. And of course, it wouldn't be a video by me if I didn't talk about a conspiracy of sorts. I do believe that various elements of our society, our culture, have been programmed and designed to keep people, as many people as they can, in this infantile sort of state, this childlike state. One easy example is sort of the distraction culture, how men in video games, how men will just, go to work and then come home and they just want to play their video games and not really interact with their families or with the greater society. They don't want to go volunteer. They don't, and this is not all men who play video games, but you probably know one or more guys who make, or golf could be another thing. They want to come home from work and just go to golf and, or, all kinds of hobbies, men, we use to distract ourselves and to avoid going out into our communities and fulfilling, our greater mission and purpose. And I'm not saying hobbies are bad. No, because balance, we must always seek balance. But I think our culture pushes us away from the balance of um, balancing these hobbies versus balancing our community commitments and duties and obligations. I know I just kind of rambled a lot, but if you watch this far, please like, comment, share, subscribe. Let's build this channel. Let's build the new Earth, and let's do it together. Much love.